This is John Milburn for Laws 11057, Term 3, 2016. This is a special session to do with the first assessment, which is the preparation and submission of your portfolio. It's due this Thursday, 11:45 p.m. So in an attempt to ensure that everyone is on board with the project and overcoming the technical difficulties, we have this special session. We have some of what I've described as our champions on screen. Thank you for joining us today. The exercise is one where we require you to prepare the portfolio and ultimately simply provide me with a link to that portfolio. Now, I'm keen to see if anyone has any problems, but I'm also keen to hear from people that have succeeded in the task of preparing their portfolio, even if they haven't uploaded it at this stage. So is anyone willing to kick off with some information or questions?
Hi, John. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, thanks, Melissa.
I luckily have my 18-year-old son home to help me with uploading my things to Google Docs. I think we're uploading them to our evidence that we can link to. But my main question relates to the video. Firstly, what are we including in it? Because I listened back to a contracts tutorial and realised how awful I sound on a recording, so I'm not looking forward to that. And secondly, I want to know what you guys used, like program or whatever, to do your video.
Really good questions. Well, the first thing is, in terms of the video, part of the importance is for you to become more familiar with the technology. You will need to provide assessment by way of video recording in a number of subjects throughout the degree course. So, for example, in Laws 12062, Alternative Dispute Resolution, I require students as the first assessment to upload a recording of a mock mediation undertaken by that student with real-life participants. That's something that I do, and I know that others do that similar things. It may be a 5-minute submission in relation to a contract issue, for example, or something in relation to civil proceedings. So the technology of recording yourself and uploading that for assessment is something that you will need to become familiar with. My preference is Zoom. It's something that I do where I'll record on Zoom and upload onto YouTube, and from YouTube then have the link provided to the assessor. That's something that you can easily incorporate into your Word document. Zoom is free if you record up to 40 minutes. If you go beyond that, you need the professional package. But it's a very good program, and I think very easy to use. The reason I suggest Zoom is, of course, that's what we use as our standard platform for audiovisual. At least I do in the School of Law, and I think most of my colleagues do as well. So do you think that's workable, Melissa?
Look, I'll give it a red hot go. Don't you worry. I'm certainly, look, I'm not going to be going past 40 minutes. I can assure you of that. But it's just like a minute or two, and are we just saying, I don't know, something relating to our ethos, or what are we saying in the video?
Yeah, sure. A minute or two is fine. You can go beyond that if you like. I'd prefer it wasn't 40 minutes. I agree with you there. Something about your ethos, something about yourself. I'm really quite flexible in terms of the content. It really is, from my perspective, more an opportunity for you to get to know the technology and commence your professional profile in law through this exercise. So it is something that you'll probably want to use not only through the course, but also beyond the course as well. So keep that in mind, and you can always change it. Thanks, Melissa.
John,
Sharon.
Hi.
Oh, sorry.
All right, thanks, Sharon. And Sharon, I do want to hear from you because you've provided us with some great Google Drive instructions, but I might hear from Alan first, if you don't mind. Thank you.
just a simple question, John. Sorry, Sharon. The pathway to YouTube, is that private? I don't really want to have my video on YouTube for people to discover all over the place.
I know. One of the difficulties is that If you make it private, I have difficulty in accessing that material. So I would ask that you make it public for the moment so that I can assess it. Once it's assessed, you can make it private, but however, that does mean it's in the public domain for a while. Would that cause some great consternation to you, Alan?
It would. Is there another pathway?
Yeah, there is. You can make it private and then somehow try to communicate that to me so that I can then be an assessed a person who can access your private video. Another way of doing it might be to access it directly from Zoom and try to do that straight onto Moodle. It's a technical point, but it doesn't work very well, and Moodle is very slow to receive that. It also means that it's taking it outside the way in which I can link to it in that section. Sorry, I'm not giving you many solutions here.
Is it okay if I try to have you access it on Google Docs or Google Drive or something like that?
Sure. Zoom's not the only way, and other ways of doing things. By all means, that's fine. If you make an attempt, you can always send me a separate email with perhaps a link, and I can then give you some feedback as to whether I was able to access that.
Okay. I'll experiment before Thursday.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alan. But I'm glad you asked that because I'm sure others have the same concern or queries. Thank you. Sharon, I was very pleased to see your Google Drive instructions. And correct me if I'm wrong. Look, I'm sure they would. Did I upload those? No, did you upload those onto you?
I did,
Yeah, thank you. So I printed those and I thought they were great.
okay.
Would you like to talk us through that process?
Well, I was just going back to the video. I've got an Apple Mac because I'm an addict, and I used QuickTime. But I did upload my video through YouTube. There is a section there, Alan, that you can actually put John's. Are you going through your john.milburn@CQU mail?
Yes, we're going through my normal email address, university email address.
You can actually go into and set it private and put John's email in there, and only John and yourself will be able to see it.
Okay, look, that's great, Sharon. Thanks. I'll give that a try too.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Sharon. I appreciate that. Hopefully that'll work, Alan. So if you could get that to me sooner rather than later, that might answer a few questions for others as well. So thank you very much, Sharon. Appreciate that.
And you want the Google Drive, do you?
Yes, please.
Oh, God, now you put me on the spot.
Yeah, that's all right. You can have some time to find it if you like. Or I can, I've got your document here and I can walk you through it as well. Do you have it there handy, Sharon?
So I'll just go to another Apple Mac problem. Okay. I've got the iPad.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. All right. While you're doing that, Ernest, do you have any questions or comments, anything you wish to contribute?
Not much in the form of questions, John. I struggled through the notes. I finally managed to get through the notes that Sharon provided. There were a few things that I saw were causing problems because I was expecting to have a CQ Law account. It's an operable account, just like the other normal email from CQU, but I think that account is sort of created as a virtual account. And when you try to set up the Google, the CQ Law for this portfolio, you have to type it in. And then the administrator at the back would sort of access it and give you that processing. But I think that was not clear at the beginning, that when you said you have created the CQU Law.net account, it was just a virtual account in the background. It's not an account where we receive emails or write emails. So when I first did it wrongly, it asked me to go to the email account and click on a link. But then there is no email account where you can open and click on a link. But when I did it the right way, it just gave me the access to put in the ACE attorney password, and everything worked fine.
Okay, so have you had a look at Sharon's notes, Ernest?
Yes, I had a look at them. I did go through them. It's a bit different if you already have like a Google account, like I had. Then the steps maybe are slightly different. You just go in, type in that cqulaw.net, and you put the ACE attorney, as she said, and everything just starts to function straight away. Without you receiving a link to authenticate it. You don't have to authenticate anything.
Okay. I would have thought you'd still need to add a new account, even if you have an existing Google Drive. Was that the case, Ernest? And correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, that was the case, yes.
That's good. All right. So you went into your own Google Drive account. You then added in a new account, which is based on your cqulaw.net account. You then added the password. Was that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And then everything just functioned properly when I did it.
Oh, that's good. All right. Thank you very much, Ernest. That's great. Sharon, do you want to add anything to that?
No, because that's basically what I did, because I couldn't get the CQ law one to work because it was asking me to go to my email and like there was nowhere to put the ACE attorney, which is why I had the workaround through the CQU mail one.
Oh, okay. All right. So do people need to go through the CQU mail address now, having set up the CQ law accounts?
Well, I still couldn't get onto mine. It was telling me to put in a password or you know, and then when I put in a password, it said, now go to your email account and activate it. There's no email account to activate it, so I don't know what that was about.
Okay. So how did you go when you got to that stage, Sharon?
Well, I just added the cqumail.com one and did it through there.
Okay, and that worked just fine?
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much.
Hopefully I finished my assignment, so I hope it has.
All right. And shortly I'll have a look at how many people have actually uploaded their assessment work. There was one when I looked a couple of days ago. There was another person who uploaded in draft, and I should just mention, yeah.
I wanted to see what this was about before I hit the submit button.
Okay. And that's good. That's fine. I should just mention my policy in relation to draft as a reminder. And hi, Shireen, thanks for joining us. When it comes to draft assignment work, I won't provide any feedback. I will note that the draft is there. And if we get to the stage of cut-off for the assessment work, then I'll treat the draft as a final, even though it hasn't been submitted. I'll assume that people intended to hit the submit button and just forgot. So don't worry, once you've got a draft up on the screen, up on Moodle, that'll be treated as a final. So don't panic if you forget to hit the submit button. But be aware that if you put it in draft, I may look at it, but I won't necessarily, I won't provide feedback or necessarily mark it unless you forget to submit it. I hope that makes some sense. All right. Shireen, do you have any questions or comments to assist? And thank you for joining us. Can you hear us there, Shireen? While we're waiting on Shireen, could I just say the people that have joined us today have, I think, been very active in UCrew, which is terrific, and I really appreciate your contribution in that regard and your contribution today. The fact that we don't have people that seem to be struggling with the professional portfolio is heartening in that I can take it from that people are getting on top of this technology. So thank you for getting that organised. All right. Well, if there are no issues in terms of the technical side and getting the portfolio started, perhaps we can consider the actual content. And has everyone had a look at the assessment criteria, in particular, what we need to do, what we need to insert in the professional portfolio? Would I assume that's correct? Okay. So you understand why we're doing this?
No, John.
Sorry? Yes, Ernest?
No, John, I haven't looked in at the assessment criteria yet, but I've had a view of, is it BT's video? And it's talking about how what we should put in, but I still have more questions.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Do you want to ask any questions? Do you want to ask some more questions now?
Yeah, let me throw in just one to say, okay, in terms of the content, right? The content, according to the video, was saying it's not talking about our previous work life. It's talking about from this point onwards. So is it talking about now our student life as law students and the 2 weeks, the 3 weeks that we have been learning, and just a summary of our previous life without saying our jobs or our key elements?
Okay. And I see the comments that are made in the assessment are to the effect that this is meant to be a tool to track your career progress, setting your goals and presenting yourself to potential employers. I appreciate that that won't be the case for many people. So going beyond the grades that you receive, the portfolio demonstrates a wider range of skills, aptitudes and connections that are a key part of your professional identity. My personal view is that if you refer to something in your past, then that's perfectly acceptable. But how did others interpret what Ernest mentioned of his understanding of the assessment?
Alan here, John. I think it's kind of unrealistic to expect people to start from day one of the course. Obviously, we all come from different backgrounds, and I think the idea here is to communicate to you and others that we've come from somewhere and we'd like to go somewhere else. And just tracing that with some evidence is what you're wanting to see.
I think that's a great response. And I appreciate that in doing so, some people will have concerns about privacy, confidentiality, and I understand that we don't want anyone to breach confidence or confidentiality, but it would be nice to know something about your background. And this is not a CV, but it has many elements of a CV where you are promoting, in a sense, what you've done in conjunction with what you plan to do and what you're doing now. So thank you, Alan. Any other thoughts?
Can I just ask if Ernest, have you had a chance to see the portfolio template? Because I've been sort of following that in conjunction with assessment criteria and the dummy portfolio, looking at sort of what we're listing. And obviously I haven't put all my work down, but there is for us to put, as Alan said, where we have come from.
No, I hadn't looked at that template because I was busy struggling to set up the portfolio itself, which I managed last night. I'll look at it and get that feedback. Thanks, Melissa.
Thanks, Melissa. And Shireen, I've just muted your microphone in case you decide that you want to talk. So just give us a hoy if you can't unmute that microphone, and I'll do something about that. Look, I'm just going to share the screen for a moment in the context of talking about the content of what we want to see in the portfolio. And with any luck, if things are going well, you should be able to see the sample portfolio that was prepared by Professor Beattie. So can we all see that now? All right. So the layout, firstly, is something that I look to, and you would have noticed that from my comments about the sample paper. I'm always very keen to ensure that people present something that looks professional. And so here we have an example of a very professional looking layout. In terms of the portfolio, we have a basic statement. It's not very long, and I don't think it needs to be very long. It does look a little bit like a CV, but it's not. And I like the comment about ethos and engagement profile. The examples of work is a really good way of presenting this. Of course, you do need to supplement all of this with a video. So don't feel compelled to write a lot of words. This is really just the skeleton, the beginning of something that will expand into the future. And if you write a lot of words, it means that you may have to do a lot of editing down the track. So feel comfortable in knowing that once you've got the technology organised, it's really pretty simple exercise, I would have thought. Does anyone disagree with that, or has anyone got any comments they wish to make about this sample portfolio that I have up on screen?
After seeing that sample portfolio, John, I think it's fairly straightforward. And it clears up some of the questions that I have.
Okay.
So yeah,
thank you. Yeah. And I trust everyone was able to find that sample portfolio. It's at the bottom of the assessment task. So if I go back, I'm not sure if I hit the back button, it will take me to that. So there's the commentary on Moodle, which relates to the additional details of the assessment. And below the commentary and the videos from Scott Beattie, we have here the sample portfolio, which is down the bottom. Okay. So hopefully it's a task where I'll be giving out lots of good marks. The assessment rubric is there as well, but it's pretty straightforward in terms of how the assessment should occur. And we're looking for professional presentation, which is number one, your ability to include artifacts. So artifacts are really just documents which go to establish something. Your choice of artifacts and how it creates or deals with your core curriculum is important. The curation is really the way in which you justify or support the material, and it demonstrates in the advanced marking rubric excellent employability skills by drawing persuasive connections to strong artifacts. So that's your curation issue. And then of course reflective thinking and ability to use the technology. If your video is persuasive, well curated, strong professional skills and understanding of legal professional issues, then you'll go a long way to getting good marks. So provided you follow the rubric there and deal with those issues, you can present something that's relatively short but will do the job very well. Are there any questions about that rubric and what we're looking for in the professional portfolio?
John, can I just confirm, I did read somewhere that we are not obliged to have a photograph on our portfolio.
That's right. You don't have to have a photograph, but perhaps a photograph of something that to some degree reflects your personality or interest would be a useful thing. So if you're comfortable in doing that, that would be great. All right. Well, I said I'd stay online for an hour. I intend to do that, and I'll record the session to that extent. But unless there's questions or comments, then don't feel compelled to stay on the line any further. What I expected was that we'd have a number of people that come online to say, I'm really struggling, help me through the issue. So the purpose has been achieved, I think, largely through your work, Sharon. Thank you, in satisfying the requirements or concerns of people. So do I take it that, is there anything else that people would like to ask? Ernest, do you have any further questions?
Not at the moment, John.
That's good, thank you. Sharon, have we missed anything that we need to discuss?
No, I think it's pretty much okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Shireen?
John?
Yes, Shireen?
Yes, I have a question. I just had my children be a bit quiet for a moment. Yeah, it was just in relation, I'm sorry, I was a bit late getting online, in relation to the video component and what was the content that would be ideal for that component? Was there anything specific or how long it should be? That's all my question.
No, that's fine. We did chat about that just before you came online.
Sorry, yes.
No, not at all. A short video is fine. It doesn't have to be long. We talked about using possibly Zoom and uploading through YouTube and providing a link in a Word document that way. And there's no basic criteria as to what you say on that. It could be just an introduction, statement of your ethos, statement of where you've been, what you're doing, what you plan to do, things of that nature.
Okay, thank you very much, John.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Melissa, is there any further questions, any comments?
I do have some comments. Firstly, Shireen, could you perhaps post in your crew later and let us know where you're going? Because I'm a bit of a sticky beak and you look like you're having a lovely drive there. Sharon, I did pick you a week or two ago as someone that it would probably be a good idea to become friends with, because you're very on the ball and you've been very helpful on your crew. So thank you for your contributions. And just to Alan, I also did ask a question, you may not have seen it on YouCrew, about the video. And I was considering just making it public until John could say that he'd viewed it and then making it private again. But again, Sharon's come up with a gem. So now that we know that we can put that email address in there and only John can view it, that's good. I'm glad you asked that question again today. Otherwise, I don't really want stuff out publicly either. I'm a prison officer, so I don't want any of my customers seeing stuff.
And that's fair enough as well. So thank you very much, Sharon. Alan, do you have any... thanks, Sharon. Alan, any questions or comments?
Yeah, look, thanks to everybody for the input here. It's been very helpful. I'm going to go away and struggle with trying to make a video and see if I can get it to you, John. I might be emailing or messaging Sharon or commenting through YouCrew to ask how to. I really need my handheld here to take me through this. So thank you, everyone.
One of the good things about Introduction to Law is that it is an opportunity for you to make contact with people that will be very useful, hopefully mutually beneficial throughout the course and then beyond the course. And while I don't do a lot of group assessment work, be aware that in some of the courses you will have group assessment work. So if you can make some contacts now, then that can be very useful when it comes to trying to select a team. And I notice in doing some work in second and third year that some of the people that formed contacts in Introduction to Law still part of groups down the track, so it can be useful. Okay, now... yeah, you're going to be very popular, Sharon. Sharon, have we missed anything?
Alan, I was just going to say to Alan, don't struggle, because I'll do the same sort of instructions for you, where I'll step you through and do screenshots. So don't pull your hair out. Just give us a bell and I'll do the instructions for you. If you do your video and you're not sure how to upload it to YouTube, because the video will be easy. It's the uploading that you will come, because it is a bit technical. So just give a yell through YouCrew, and I'm happy to do the instructions for you.
Wonderful. That's very generous of you, Sharon. Thanks.
That's great. Thanks, Alan. Thanks, Sharon. Sharon, is there anything else that we need to discuss?
No, I just want to know though, do you live in a suit?
No. Yeah. Oh, I can tell you this.
Jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah. At 10 to 11, I had the golf shirt on, and at the last minute, I thought, no, I'm changing. So it was a change, but it almost didn't happen today.
You know.
Thank you. All right. Well, look, what I propose to do then is to stop the recording, and perhaps I will just come back online, you know, in 10 or 15 minutes to see if anyone is still there. You're welcome to stay online in case somebody else joins us, but my guess is that we probably won't have anyone else join us at this stage. And hopefully it sounds as though those people that might have been struggling have sorted things out. But if not, please ask questions through UCrew during the week. This week I'm in Brisbane, down and back on Monday, and then I'm travelling to and from Bundaberg each day, Tuesday through to Friday. So I will be a little hard to catch, but I'll certainly try and monitor UCrew, answer questions as we go. And if I'm a little late on Thursday, please excuse me, but it'll simply be because I'm travelling back from Bundaberg, and hopefully we'll be here at 6, but I may be a little late. And you can always go online and start chatting amongst yourselves beforehand, which I suspect you're doing already. Okay.
And John, I just want to let you know I won't be there Thursday, hairdressing appointment. I've got to get priorities right.
Yes, these things, life goes on, doesn't it? All right. Okay. Well, look, thank you very much. I'll end the recording, and unless you have any, I'll end the meeting as far as I'm concerned, but I'll leave the meeting open in case you want to stay online, and I'll come back and check in 10 or 15 minutes just in case anyone new has arrived and is struggling. But otherwise, thank you very much, and all the best for those that are watching this recorded video. Thank you.